Hey, everybody. Welcome to Badass Banter. I'm your host, Carole Filion, a mindset coach and mentor. I wanted to come on to my podcast and you get me today. That's it. I don't have a special guest. I'm the special guest. I wanted to get on because there's a post that I just put up on LinkedIn that drew more attention than any other post I've ever put on LinkedIn. Now, granted, I haven't been super active on that platform until recently. I want to say maybe the last couple of months. But this one, it seems to have struck a chord. And so let me read you what the post was. It's not very long. You can go look for it on LinkedIn as well. So the post goes like this. Are you waiting for the package? I did, and it almost killed me. Here's what I learned. That there's no amount of money that can restore the erosion of your soul while working a job you hate. That's number one. Number two, money is energy. And if it was created in a space that is out of alignment with your core values, then it'll get spent the same way. And number three, Glinda was right. I had the power. I always had the power. So by the time the axe mercifully fell, I was emotionally spent and energetically bankrupt. My recovery period went past what the package covered. We create our own reality. If you're in that space right now, and I invite you then to chat in the post. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, that got more impressions, more comments, people reaching out to me directly, actually, to say, yep, I felt that. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to use Badass Banter as my platform to talk about this because clearly it's something that needs to be addressed. So if you are in that space, hang with me, okay? I was in that space. I hung on for 2.5 years after an acquisition. And it was, like I said, I was energetically bankrupt after that. That it was just for money. I wasn't getting anything other than money at the end of that. So, first off, I want you to realize that if you are in that space, would you take a job that you hate just because it had a huge paycheck? Might be tempting at first, but boy, that would go away really quickly because we all need purpose. We all need to feel valued. We all need connection. We all need to be connected with our higher values, like I mentioned in the post, but we need to be able to come from that position when we do our work. So, having said that, if you wouldn't take the job just for the paycheck, then why would you hang on to it just for the paycheck? Okay. Another thing I want you to take into consideration, and as we're coming to the end of the year, this is where a lot of us get introspective. We start to think about the next year, 2025, and the first quarter century of the millennial. So the millennium. So it really is something to ponder here. So what I do when I'm coming up to a new year is I do an audit. So, and that audit includes three things. I look at all of the photos from 2024, from the current year. I look at my journal entries for that year, and I look at my calendar. So, and my calendar not only speaks to, business, but it also speaks to time spent with family. I try to put everything on my calendar. I'm not always successful, but I do make an effort to make sure that everything is in there so that, I know where I'm going and my partner knows where we're going. Because sometimes, there are conflicts. Anyways, but I digress. So I look at those three things when the year is wrapping up. And I see what was really where the wins were, what was new, what I really wanted, what was aligned with my vision board that I try to do at the beginning of the year, maybe even twice a year, actually, now these days. But what was aligned with my big goals? What was I able to attract into my life? And I also take a glance at the previous year, not just the current year, but the previous year, because I want to see where I had groundhog moments. What was I repeating that I didn't necessarily want, but it came back? So, and those, they hold lessons in there. That's why I do the audit, because I'm really looking for the lessons. So, if you've been if you do this audit and you find that you've had like a groundhog year and you're in this space now that, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to wait for the package because they're going to pay me out. They're going to have to pay me to get me to leave. Have a look at your audit. If you were living a groundhog year, then that cash is really just going to go towards another groundhog year. And if you have had a groundhog year, then that means you haven't really taken control. You haven't made choices that serve you. You've let it happen to you, just like you're letting it happen to you with waiting for the package. This is tough love here. And the only reason I am telling you this is because I did this. I thought, I'm getting screwed over here, so you know what? They're gonna pay. They didn't pay. It was just money. I paid. I paid, and how eroded my soul was. Plus, I didn't realize how broken I was, that by the time I got that check, it was so empty because I felt I had no value at the world's table or at the work table, because for the last 2.5 years, I eroded my own confidence. I eroded it. The company didn't do anything to me. I handed over power. I let them decide when I was going to go, rather than stepping into my own power and saying, hang on a second. I got a lot of stuff I'm bringing to the table. And in hindsight, clearly I did bring a lot to the table. If they kept me for 2.5 years, there must have been something I was doing right, but I wasn't seeing it that way. I was like, tap, 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 tap. Seriously, let's go. Just let me go. Why was I waiting for permission? Why was I waiting for permission? This was my work, my livelihood. If I'd lost my passion for it, it was my choice to make to go share it elsewhere. But I didn't do that because, I'm not leaving empty-handed. And I can hear a lot of you out there thinking the same thing. I'm not leaving empty-handed. Let me tell you, you might have a check in your hand, but you will be empty-hearted. You will have spent your heart source, your energy, what you're passionate about. And for me, my healing period took way longer, went way past what that package covered. So learning, yes, it was a lesson. It was not a loss, but boy, big, big lesson. So that when I was faced with a similar situation after that, I wasn't, no, that was not going to happen. I stayed in control. I decided what I was going to do going forward. So I want you to understand this. You have a choice. Always. You can choose to stay for the paycheck. That's fine. But map out your action plan. Map out what it is that you're going to do differently. What are you going to use the money for? Do you have a plan? Do you want to start your own business? And if that's what you want to do, get it in motion. Start talking to people, start taking whatever courses you need to take, start networking with whatever industry people that you need to be in with. Get a coach. Get your ducks in order. Start it without the paycheck. Because here's what's going to happen when you take control and you take responsibility for the situation you're in, you'll find your confidence is going to start ratcheting up and going, hang on a second. Hang on a second. I can do this. I don't need permission from anybody. So what if I don't get money from them? I'm going to get it out there because now I'm going to be doing something that is more heart-centered, something that is more aligned with my core values. Because if this isn't aligned with who you are, then you're just playing, you're doing two roles here. You're going to be a different person at home than you are at work, and vice versa. And, remember that Seinfeld episode, right? There was when George didn't want to introduce his girlfriend to his friends because there's relationship George and there's friend George, and never the two shall meet. That didn't work out for him. And it won't work out for you. You have to be authentic to who you are. So if you're in that position where I'm just going to wait for the package, tap, 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 it's going to be a long wait. Watch pot never boils, right? So make good use of your time. Be grateful that you are still in a position, that you still are earning money, and put your time and your energy to good use. Go back to your core values. What's important to you? Start thinking and mapping out your next steps. And if those next steps, if you're ready to strike, then strike. Walk. Just walk away without the paycheck. I promise you it will be so much better all around, not only for your mental health, but for the health of the people around you as well. Because make no mistake, I was constantly complaining about my job because I thought, well, okay, maybe I just need to get it out. I just need to get it out. I wasn't. I was stuck in this vicious cycle. Not healthy. And it wasn't helping me. It was eroding my self-confidence and it was distorting my self-image. This isn't who I was. I was stepping into this person I didn't like. So go rediscover yourself. Go back over this year. If you're in that position, then I hope this message reaches you. And I hope that you get something out of it that inspires you to take control of your situation. Because it'll either be you in control or the company in control. You don't want to hand over that power. Be in control. Decide what it is that you want. Decide what it is go find your bliss. Go find your bliss. If that ain't it, not if you're just waiting for the money, it'll just be money. I said it several times and I'm going to keep saying it. It's just money. And money is energy. And like I said in my post, if it's created in an environment that is not aligned with your core values, it'll get spent the same way. Be good to yourself. Take control of the situation. Control what you can and let go what you can't. Mel Robbins has a phenomenal book coming out in Christmas Eve, and it's called The Let Them Theory. And if you haven't seen the video or the podcast, Oprah Winfrey's interview of Mel Robbins on the Let Them Theory, go look it up on YouTube. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's 50 minutes that will absolutely change your mind and change your life, to be honest. But essentially, that's just it. She's boiled it down to very simple principles, and that is let them And by extension, let me. Meaning, if this is the direction that the company is taking, let them. Let them. Nothing you can do about it. You can't control it. What you can control, however, is your thinking and the choices that you're going to make for yourself and how you respond with the feelings that are coming up for you. So let me be in control of me. Let me control what I can control. So, with that said, I hope that this message finds you. I hope that this message helps you take steps that will serve you, that will be aligned with your core values, that will be aligned with your higher self, and that will be aligned with your big goal. And if you don't have a big goal, find one. Really sit down, put pen to paper, do the audit, and then start thinking about what do you want 2025 to look like? I am so stoked for this coming year. I can't even begin to describe it. And I want you to have that same kind of excitement. And on a very tiny level, I want you to wake up with the same thought I do every single day. That as soon as you open your eyes, you say, something super cool is going to happen for me today. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. Just say that one simple statement. Set the intention for your day. Watch your energy shift. Feel your energy shift. I want nothing but the best for you. I really do. And if you are in that space of waiting for the package, it's okay. You've got this. You have an opportunity to take control and to make a choice. This is Carole Filion. I'm so happy you joined me today. I hope you have a phenomenal day and an even more phenomenal 2025.